For nearly a decade, one man ruled the criminal underworld of the United States without ever hiding. He gave interviews. He attended public events. He posed for photographs. Police knew his name. Politicians whispered about him. Newspapers wrote about his influence. Yet no prison cell ever waited for him. How does someone commit crimes on such a massive scale and walk free every single time? This is the story of a criminal empire that collapsed not because of violence, betrayal, or revenge, but because of one overlooked detail. In the 1920s, the United States entered a period known as Prohibition. Alcohol was banned nationwide. What was meant to reduce crime did the opposite. Demand never disappeared. It went underground. Secret bars, hidden supply routes, and illegal distribution networks appeared almost overnight. Organized crime groups grew rapidly, feeding a market worth millions. Chicago became one of the most profitable cities in this new illegal economy, and rising quickly to the top was Al Capone. Capone was not a shadowy figure hiding in alleys. He was visible, confident, charismatic. He controlled alcohol distribution, gambling operations, and protection schemes across the city. His organization generated enormous profits, flowing constantly in cash. Despite this, Capone presented himself as a legitimate businessman. He claimed his wealth came from legal ventures. He denied direct involvement in violent crimes, and witnesses rarely spoke. Those who did often changed their stories. For years, investigations stalled, cases collapsed, charges disappeared. Capone became known as untouchable. Success created arrogance. Capone believed that power insulated him from consequences. He openly mocked authorities, confident that nothing could connect him to criminal activity in a courtroom. Law enforcement focused on the obvious: violence, gang rivalries, territorial disputes, but Capone had learned how to avoid those traps. What he did not anticipate was a shift in strategy. Federal investigators eventually realized that proving Capone's involvement in violent crimes was nearly impossible. Witnesses were afraid. Evidence vanished. Juries hesitated, so investigators asked a different question. How could someone live in extreme luxury without legal income? Capone owned expensive homes. He wore tailored suits. He traveled constantly. He spent freely. Yet according to government records, he reported no legitimate earnings. This contradiction became the key. Instead of chasing criminals in the streets, agents began working behind desks. They examined spending patterns. They analyzed financial records. They compared expenses to tax filings. The numbers did not add up. Capone assumed that if no one could prove how he made money, then no one could tax it. But the law did not require proof of the source, only proof that income existed and was not reported. This was the opening authorities had been waiting for. In 1931, Al Capone was charged not with murder, not with bootlegging, but with tax evasion. It shocked the public. Many expected the case to collapse like all the others. Capone himself appeared relaxed, confident his lawyers would once again secure his freedom. But this time, the evidence was simple and overwhelming. Financial records, witness testimony from accountants, clear inconsistencies. There were no emotional arguments, no dramatic accusations, just numbers. The jury found Al Capone guilty. He was sentenced to 11 years in federal prison, fined heavily, and ordered to pay back taxes. At the time, it was one of the harshest sentences ever imposed for tax crimes. The man who once controlled Chicago's criminal world was reduced to an inmate number. Inside prison, his health declined rapidly. Outside, his organization collapsed without leadership. Power disappeared as quickly as it had appeared. Capone's conviction sent a clear message. No matter how powerful someone appears, systems eventually catch up. His empire relied on fear and money. Without him, it fell apart. Former allies scattered. Operations shut down. The illusion of invincibility was gone. This case offers lessons that extend far beyond crime. First, shortcuts create hidden risks. What seems like control today often becomes exposure tomorrow. Second, ignoring basic responsibilities like accountability and transparency leads to consequences. Capone prepared for rivals. He prepared for violence. He prepared for police raids. But he never prepared for a simple audit. And finally, pressure reveals character. Under pressure, choices matter more than intentions. Many lives are changed not by dramatic moments but by quiet decisions. The belief of being untouchable. The habit of ignoring details. The confidence that consequences apply only to others. They never do. This story reminds us that long-term success built on shortcuts is unstable. And eventually, every decision is accounted for.